Hello everyone, my name's Chặng. I'm in class 41 and 10 years old. Today, I'll talk about a very interesting topic, which is working at home. Let's get started. Now let's talk about the table of contents. The first thing we'll talk about today is about the advantages of working at home. Second, we'll talk about the drawbacks of working at home. Then we'll talk about should we work at home or should we go to other places to work. And finally, I'll tell you about my opinion. First, as you know, going to work 5 or 6 days a week is really tiring. Why? Because you have a lot of work to do. You also have a lot of deadlines too, which can make your brain go crazy and you're spinning like a top. This could make you feel very exhausted and even feel depressed too. As a result, we can if we work at home, then we'll have more time. We also have more spare time, and more people are working at home. So, is it a good idea to work at home, or is it a better idea to go out and have a work? First, let's talk about the advantages of working at home. Some people agree with about working at home, and they really like that idea because they think that workers don't have to commute to work every day. As a result, people can just stay at home. Maybe they can just wake up, go to their computer, and do their work without having to eat breakfast, also brushing their teeth, maybe making dressed, and even going on taxi or maybe by train to their working place, which is really tiring and also very boring too. Second is that people who work at home are much happier. They can work in any room that they like. Maybe they can work in their bathroom, bedroom, and even in the living room too. And they can work at anywhere that they feel comfortable, which can make them help them so that they won't feel depressed or maybe feel unhappy without having to maybe like sit for many hours in just one chair in the office. However, there are some people who disagree with this opinion. Why? Because they think that people may not be motivated to work if bosses cannot see what they're doing. Sometimes they can really be distracted. Maybe they want to buy something and an app just surprisingly just go out. Then they will click on that app and and maybe like watch other things and do many other things that may distract them from their work, which can make them so that they won't feel very responsible for their work as their boss is not there, and maybe if their boss doesn't know, he or she will just still give the money that they usually have, which is not which is unfair for people who always concentrate on the work that they are doing. Second is that workers who stay at home cannot easily meet their other workers to discuss about work. This can also be very helpful too, as sometimes you have a really hard question. Then if your workers or maybe your accountant knows this, they can help you if you or maybe she will meet you in the office, which can help you with the work too. But if you work at home, then you may have to chat to them or even you have to call them too. So the question here is that should we work at home or should we not work at home? Some people say that we should work at home. Why? Because they think that it has more flexibility. You can set your own schedule and work as your more perspective. You can also have your own schedule. You can also take time on what you're going to do and also learn about the other things too. It can also improve your working life balance and also help you to develop maybe like a work balance too. Second is that it has no commuting. It saves time, money, and reduces things from our stress from our daily travel. Maybe your working place is really far and you have to go by train. And on the train, maybe there are lots of people and you don't like that atmosphere. So, if you work at home, then you can just stay in your comfortable home. You can maybe even maybe lie on bed while doing your work too, which is really comfortable for some lazy persons too. However, there are some people who disagree with this opinion. Why? Because they think that it has distractions. It can be harder to focus due to the interruptions from their family. Maybe their family is really noisy, or maybe their siblings, or maybe their sisters, younger brothers are just running around and screaming, which can make you so that you will be very distracted and you can't focus on your work, which won't make you much money as the boss asks you to do the work that you're doing to receive money. Second is that it has lack of social interaction. You may feel isolated without regular contact with coworkers. Maybe when you meet them outside, you won't know what to say to them because you haven't met them in real life, and even you haven't met them in real life, so that you don't know about maybe like their things that they like, and also the other things that they like to do too, which is not really good, because when you work with somebody, then you know to know about them, so that maybe sometimes they could even help you too. However, my opinion is that people should work at home, because I think that it can increase productivity. Many employers report fewer distractions when they are in the office, or maybe in their office, or maybe or when they work with their boss, as their boss can look at them, and if they go into another place, then the boss will, "Hey, I see you there. You have to give me back your money if you want to work here." So it is really frustrating too. Workers can also optimize their own schedule. They can work during peak energy, or maybe they can even work overtime without having to go to the lunch break. And instead, they can just do their work in their lunch break, because maybe they have their lunch break before. Second is that it has time and cost savings. Now daily commute saves hours per week and reduces transportation too. This can even also help the environment too, as if you go out, then you usually go out by car, taxi, and even trains and buses too. This could also reduce the amount of gas that it has been put out in the air, which can reduce air pollution too. Then is that it has better work-life balance. It reduces stress, supports mental health by creating more comfortable and also more comfortable work environments, as you can work more efficiently if you work in a comfortable environment. Then is that it has environmental benefits. Fewer commuters means less traffic congestions, and also help global warming too. As I said earlier, if there is less cars and also less buses and trains, it could help people so that they won't put out lots of CO2 gases, which is a really harmful gas for the environment. Finally, is that it increases autonomy and job satisfaction. Workers feel more trusted and empowered when they work alone, as then they won't think that, oh, that boss is just bossying around. I don't like him, and I won't work for the company too. If they work alone and they get the trust they have been trusted by, that means that they have been trusted by their boss and also their coworkers too. This is so it could help them give freedom and help them to manage their time, and even do harder for the work in the company and help the company too. And so that's my topic. Goodbye everyone, and see you next time. Goodbye.